To those that don't know, just give us a brief into the musical life of Lioness, as brief as you can.
I've been spitting for 7 years. I started when I was 14. I'm now 21. I've just been doing a lot of freestyles recently. Not recently, for my whole journey. Now I've started to do more songs. So I'd say I've moved from an MC to an artist. I've had one mixtape, which was out last year, which was Loch Ness Monster. And now I've got Rawness.
So break it down though, like 2 CDs in 7 years. People have expected a bit more from you. Not only just CDs, mixtapes, albums,
Yes.
EPs, but also visuals.
Yes.
What's been the weight?
I've just been lazy. There's no reason behind it. I've just been lazy. And I've always seen music as a hobby. So in a hobby, you do things when you want to do them. And that's what I've done, music when I wanted to do it. But now I'm in demands and people are expecting stuff from me. So now I have to take it seriously. So that's what I'm doing now, man. Going in.
So Loch Ness Monster's been out for just over a year.
Yes.
Explain the difference between Loch Ness Monster and Rawness.
Loch Ness was literally a mixtape, just a mix of different type of tunes from me with freestyles and other people's beats, etc. And Rawness is more of, it could be an LP if it wanted to be, really, because it's all my original material, original beats, etc. Yeah, I've just transitioned from an MC to an artist now.
So we discussed some of these things before, but I'm going to run through them again.
Yes.
There's an influx in downloadable CDs at the moment.
There is.
Your CD Rawness is definitely good enough to retail. Why did you decide to put it out as a free downloadable CD?
Because there's a lot of people that are doing the free download. So people will be like, so-and-so's thing was free. So why does Lioness feel like I must pay for her music? And especially where I haven't been doing a lot of music, I need to give back to my fans. So that's exactly why I've put it out for free.
So this is where the bad cycle is, though, that MCs are putting out free material.
Yeah.
Other MCs feel like they need to put out free material as well.
Yeah.
So, but at the same point, not much is retailing.
Yeah, not much is retailing, but it needs to, especially if you're doing music full time. You need to be paid. Do you know what I mean? So you need to put it out there, and that's definitely what I'm going to be doing next CD.
So we spoke before, and you told me that literally there's no female MC that has inspired you to where you are now.
Yeah, not one.
Break that down so we can understand.
I don't know why that is. Just not one. Maybe Lauren Hill. But apart from her, no other female MCs made me think, yeah, let me do it because so-and-so's done it. It's always been males, and I think that's why I'm more seen as one of the mandem as well, in terms of my ability, because that's what I listen to.
So you've spoken about, like, yeah, the freestyle Good For A Girl, which you done over Drake's Over.
Yeah.
And like that sparked a whole debate. You know, a lot of the times female MCs are seen as just good for a girl and not just good as an MC,
Yeah.
full stop.
Yeah.
Like, how much of that do you still combat?
None at all. Like, after that song, that was it. Like, no one had anything to say on that respect to me. But I completely understand why people do say some people are good for a girl, and I know what that means. It means if you as a man, then you wouldn't be seen anywhere, and I can understand that.
How important is it for Lioness to be able to go back to back with the male MCs and be able to hold their own?
It's very important. If we think about what Lioness actually means, like, it's strength. And what lions do, or lionesses do, they go out and they get all the food, and they, like, all the lion does is sleep, eat and beat. That's all the lion does. The lioness does everything else, has the kids, everything. And so you got to be on par with the man.
So how much is Isabel,
Yes.
your real name,
My real name.
like the Lioness?
Are completely different. Completely different. Isabel's far too laid back and just like a Libra, and Librans, they sit on the fence all the time, indecisive. That's what I'm like. But Lioness is like, bat, 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 bat. That's what I want. Da, 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 da.
Break down your studio ethic and your recording ethic, because like I definitely rate you as a very talented MC out here, but I know you're quite a perfectionist.
Very.
And you're quite, with your output, you don't put out a lot.
I don't
So
put out a
break
lot.
down how it goes down in the studio and an inception of a track for Lioness.
Well, a lot of the time, I don't really like writing on the spot because I feel like it's rushed, and I don't want it to be rushed. But if you're going to be an artist, you need to get to grips with that and be able to do both. But normally I write the bar beforehand, so then when I get into studio, it's just quick. And I like to do it like in one take sort of thing. So if I've got like a 32 bar, it's got to be all in 32s. I can't do 16 and then 16 because I want it to, like, your energy builds up, if you know what I mean. So I don't want to distract from that. So that's
The female MCs at the moment, it's in a healthy state. Do you know
Yes,
what I mean?
it
There's MCs a lot. I don't want to run through the names, But how are you feeling about, you know, first and foremost, you've been working a lot with A. Dot and Leisha. There
Yes,
seems
I
to be
have.
like a group assembly. Everyone's associating you lot together a lot.
Yes, they are.
Talk about that little group there, man, of you lot.
Do you know what? It's just a respect thing. Like, if you can see someone else's graft and you rate their music, then holler at them, innit? And that's what kind of happened. Like, I was feeling Leisha, feeling Dot. Dot was new on the scene. She's still kind of new on the scene, but she cemented herself well. Do you know what I mean? So I rate how she got involved, and I'm always down for supporting females. If I rate you, then I'll be supportive of you. Sorry. Yeah. So be a team, man. Why not?
There's been talks of particular MCs, female MCs, or MCs in general, but like with the female scene, people would like to see particular MCs clash each other.
Yes.
Have you heard much of that talk?
Of course, all the time. I get told I must clash Nole all the time. But I wouldn't, like, everyone compares us, and I don't understand why they do that, because to me, like, Nole's she's like a Kalashnikov. Do you know what I mean? To me, kind of, like, on a deeper scale than what I am on. So it's different, but I know why they compare us, because of the rawness of both of us and the way she's aggy with it and the way I'm aggy with it. But it's two different things, so I don't get it. But I'm not clashing no one. If Nola wants to do a tune, we'll do a tune. I'm on working together, not like all that clashing stuff.
You know, when it comes to a lot of the female MCs as well, they get a lot of the harder side of things as when it comes to like the male MCs. I'm not talking about other things. I'm talking about image. It's so important when it comes to the female MCs. And there's a lot of talk of like, oh, this female MC is more marketable than this one. This MC is more swinging with the guys than this one. Have you heard many of those debates? Yeah,
all the time. Like, when I started spitting, I was like a complete tomboy, man, them tracksuits, everything. Do you know what I mean? And then I kind of changed and was more like ladylike, etc., etc. But like, people will say that somebody's good because they look good, but your ability is not good though. So really, you shouldn't be known as being a good lyricist. I think that's unfair, and I think image has got nothing to do with nothing, even though it is in this day and age, but really it shouldn't have nothing to do with nothing. Like Missy Elliott, for example, she was really, really, really big, but that didn't stop her back in the day. No one was watching that. That was all about her talent. So why must today we must talk about image this and image that?
So leading on from that though, you got some sick MCs, but like the debate also goes on to, would you prefer to have commercial respect? No, commercial success or underground respect?
Yeah. I'd always want underground respect, to be honest, because I just want everyone to know that I'm gifted and that I'm talented and understand where I'm coming from, rather than, she sold so-and-so CDs and she can make a club hit. That's cool, but I want my music to mean something to people, and if it means something to you, then I'm blessed, I'm cool. That's what I'd want.
So how important to you is the big record deal and selling loads of records?
Obviously, it would be nice. It would be really nice, and it would be good because I'll stay myself and be able to do that instead of doing something different to get there. But in this day and age, with people like Wretch, for example, you can do that, and you can be how you've been the whole time and get there. You don't have to like change, because like before, people were changing. But that's a conscious decision to them. Like, if you want to be successful and you've got to make them moves, then you've got to do what you've got to do. Do you know what I mean? I've heard people say that so-and-so don't write their bars. And cool, that's unfair if you don't write your bars. I don't feel like you should be compared to me because I write mine and you don't write yours. But at the end of the day, you're doing a move. I call it a life AC. You're doing a move because you're just trying to get big. And everyone's trying to get the hell up out of here, innit? So do what you've got to do, man.
How much would you sacrifice your artistic direction to gain more success?
I'm not sacrificing it at all, because like I've said, it's always been a hobby to me, and I write down my feelings, and that's what the tunes are about, how I feel at the time. And if I can't do that and I'm writing about something that means nothing to me, then it's pointless for me.
The new CD is called Rawness.
Rawness.
Break down the title and how that reflects the CD's content.
Because it shows two sides of me. The rawness, the ROAR, is just like all the Aggie tunes like Bomb and Bad and Don't Tell Me, for example. But there's also the sensitive side to me, which is like raw, like the RAW, and I'm just in the flesh, I'm bare. So yeah.
Because I think me in particular, you know what I mean, I've had a good relationship with you over the years, and I've seen a big difference between Loch Ness, Monster and Rawness.
Yes.
And I was don't know if I even want to say surprised to hear that there's a good 4 songs that talks about emotion and love. A lot of love on the CD. Do you feel that? Was that hard? Was that easy for you to do?
Easy. They're the easiest tunes to write because not all of them are happy loves. And I ain't really had nothing like that. I'm in love at the moment. I'm cool, but when it's like heartache and stuff, that's when I can write the most and the best. So like I'm trying to think what am I gonna do for my album now because I'm not in pain. So I'm hoping something happens so I can talk about it because I like things to come from the heart and I don't want to make it up.
How hard is it for you? Do you ever write from a perspective of where you haven't experienced or it's not true?
Do you know what? I've only done that once, and that was my Jail Tales on BBC 3 and SBTV. He asked me, Jamal, he said, I can just write some bars about jail. And I was like, I ain't been to jail, so what am I supposed to do, innit? So then I thought about it, and then I thought, let me come at the perspective of a girlfriend and how she'll feel about it, blah, de blah. And that's what I made up from the spot. But people thought that was real because I made it so realistic.
Coming from the grime scene, a lot of people are going to hear Rawness and they're going to be like, well, there's not that much grime on the CD.
Yeah.
Are you a grime MC?
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
I just make music now. And I feel like that's the transition, Loch Ness to Rawness, MC to artist. And if you don't want to continue on the journey with me, that's fine. I'm sure there's other MCs out there that you can listen to, do you know what I mean? And I'm sorry if you feel a way about it, but I'll always be able to make a freestyle. I'll always be able to be grimy. It's just whether I choose to or not.
How important is your allegiance to grime then? Because, you know, in the past, a lot of the debate has been on the forums, online and stuff about MCs that come through the grime scene, get a bit successful and leave the grime scene behind, get a record deal, leave the grime scene behind, and at the same time say there was never a grime MC or they're not a grime MC anymore. But
I will never leave grime. It will always be in me. And if I hear a beat that I like that's grimy, I will always spit on it because I like it. Do you know what I mean? And I always spit on tunes that I like. So for as long as producers are making grimy beats that I like, it's for as long as I'll be spitting on grime.
You're a big house fan. If anyone jumps in your car, they will hear a lot of house music played.
Yes,
but you're messing with a bit of the dubstep on, well, one track in particular on Rawness.
I tried a thing because it's a genre of music that I haven't touched yet. So I thought, let me have a whack at it. And that's the result of it. But obviously you've got people like P Money who spits on dubstep quite a lot. But obviously he was on a proper grime wave before. But it's the same kind of wave to me. It's all loud and grimy and you know what I mean? So I don't know.
What alternative music is there on your portable music device at the moment that people might be surprised to find out?
Seal. I've been bagging out the Seal. Kids from a Rose, I don't think you know about that tune. All them kind of tunes, like I'll have George Michael on there. I'll have everything on there because I like different music and that's why you'll hear different music from me because I like different things.
Are you sentimental? Is there anything that you need to do before you go on stage and perform?
Not really, but on my launch party I actually prayed before I went on stage. I prayed and that's not something that I normally do, but I prayed and I've been going to church recently and I spoke to my minister before I went on and we prayed. But it was I think that's what I'll do from now on, just pray.
You're definitely going to be keeping up with going to church, the church attendance?
Well, I wasn't too sure because it's just like, how am I going to carry on doing this type of music and be able to go to church? And I don't feel like I'm ready to fully commit myself and I'm not going to do it half-heartedly, so I might just take a step back for now, if I'm being honest.
Next 12 months for Lioness, what does that hold?
Domination. I'm just going to flood it because you ain't had nothing from me, so I'm just going to just be in your face as a jar in your face. Yeah, so videos, everything.